Exactly. Yeah,
Ooh, no shortcuts. Might have seemed simple, yeah.
No
No
shortcuts.
shortcuts. Here to give you
Uh-huh.
motivation and a little bit of inspiration.
No shortcuts.
Me and the boss ain't easy.
Yeah.
Every day somebody needs me.
It's no shortcuts. I wake up, stretch, say a prayer, coffee and then some fresh air. Time to get it poppin'. I got a fresh 24. Hopefully I'm blessed with plenty more. Meanwhile, I'm thankful for the fire on the inside burning. I keep earning as the world keeps turning. The thing about life is you never stop learning. Hoping everybody Maxwell, Vernon. You make a plan, then you stick to it. Even in tough times, get through it. So get to it. And make sure your family's straight. We going worldwide, you understanding me, mate? Providing a platform where like minds get meet. Closed mouths don't get fed, want everybody to eat. On Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Tuesdays at noon, let's all get rich. It's no shortcuts.
Tell a friend to tell a friend about the No Shortcut Show.
is it gonna switch?
Yeah.
Hey, there we are.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please come on in. Today is Tuesday, February 7th. Welcome to episode, we on 41 today.
41.
Episode 41. We know you guys might be on your lunch break. We know you may be taking a little time out of your schedule to come and join us. We thank you so much. Feel free as you're coming on in to share this to your individual pages. Because I always say the more the merrier right here at No Shortcuts, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's having a great day. You know, we're grateful, we're blessed, we're humble, highly favored, thankful.
Yeah.
And I take all the cues right off the back of famous as well. Yeah.
It's right there. It's right
Everything is,
there.
yeah, yeah,
That's
that's
your
my
cue card.
cue card. Yes, sir. But everything is great, man. Everything's great. Started out this morning. It was a little on the chilly side, but I believe like
Yeah.
yesterday, it's going. You start out with a jacket and you end up with a t-shirt.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I experienced
Yeah,
that. I got out early this morning too, taking the kids to school and all that, and then I had to run some errands. I dropped my van off to get the oil change, and I just walked home while they was doing it. And walking home, I was
yeah,
like, "Yo, this is nice out here today."
yeah, man. As long as the sun is out, you can
Yeah,
kind of bear with the chilliness a little
yeah,
bit. Ladies and
absolutely.
gentlemen, right quick, while you're coming on in, drop us a comment, say hello, tell us where you're watching from, and let's get the energy going. Hit the hearts, hit the hearts, hit the like sign, hit some of those other emojis, drop some emojis. Let us know you're here. We can give you a quick shout out before we get into the show. This is a
Yeah.
live yet interactive show, so we
Yes.
encourage the comments. Talk to us, talk to each other, talk to our guests, and let's have one big great old time while we're here for the next hour.
Absolutely, man. And just for our first time viewers, if you haven't been on the show before, you haven't seen the show before, tell them what the No Shortcut Show is, my friend.
Well, the No Shortcut Show, ladies and gentlemen, is the brainchild of DJ Famous.
And
He,
Midas.
he and might is, I like to give the credit where the credit is due. But in so many words, ladies and gentlemen, we decided to create a platform, being that we are gifted and passionate at certain things. We are entrepreneurs. We decided to create a platform to encourage other people because everybody has a gift, everybody has a passion. Sometimes you have to look within to find it. But we wanted to start a platform to encourage those that are already walking in that path, and also encourage those that are considering going down that path. We shared our stories last year in season one, early on, and sharing our stories. Also, having guests on to share their stories.
Yeah.
We just want to spark conversation and motivate and inspire. And also, not only that, but we have started our No Shortcuts community, and what that allows all of us to do, not just as co-hosts, but or former guests, potential guests, but everybody can come here and we can interact with each other. We understand that we all have a service that we provide or something that we're gifted at doing. and you may be looking for that specific service sometimes, whether it's a DJ, whether it's a musician, whether it's a mobile bartending service. I see Rich
Hmm.
Girl Sips is on. See what I did there. But nonetheless, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, whatever you may be looking for, we hope to provide a community where you don't have to do the old asking Facebook for a friend and all of that stuff. You can just
Yeah.
come, you can just come right here to no shortcuts. And as we get familiar with each other, you know who does what, and
Yeah.
and you have and you have gotten to see that person on the screen and have built at least a sense of familiarity with them. You know what they're about. They get to share their story, and hopefully, we can circulate business amongst
Absolutely.
ourselves.
And
You
like you
heard?
said, it's just all about sharing ideas, sharing stories, because there are going to be some people, and there's some people amongst us that's just starting out in whatever their hustle is, or their business, or their idea that they haven't started yet. And the
Yes.
whole the title being no shortcuts is just really saying, get in
It's
there,
no.
do the work. There's no easy way to do it. You're gonna hit some
Yeah.
bumps, and we're gonna bring some people on to tell you about some bumps that they hit in the road, and some you
Yeah.
got to do it the long way. Pause.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich Girl Sips is in the house, but do me a favor, go to that link, that ecam.live/connect link, if you haven't done so, to give ecam the permission to see who you are,
Permission.
because all I can see is Facebook user.
Yeah. Shout out to mom.
If you haven't done that already, I just put it
Yeah.
up there, and I'll put it on the screen. Just go to that link
Okay.
to give Ecam permission to see who you
Yes.
are. That way I can see it instead of just seeing
Yes. Yes.
Facebook user.
Yeah.
Napoleon Hardison is watching.
Yeah. Shout That's my cousin
What's
Napoleon.
happening?
How you
What's
doing,
happening?
sir? Much love. Thank you for joining us. My mother, I see my mom is here. She says she's on the way out, but she will let it play while she
Let
is
it play.
driving. Shout out to
Yeah.
mom. Love you. I just got to. We were just texting back and forth a little bit before we came on live.
Listen,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
a
So
video and an audio experience.
it is, man. It is. So we just call it the No Shortcut Show. Whether you
Yeah.
want to consider it a podcast, a video cast, we'll leave that up to you guys.
Yeah.
But we just go with this. It's a show,
Yeah.
So yeah,
Just a chance to
man.
hang out
Yeah.
with your
How was
folk for an hour every week.
you did? So how was your weekend this past weekend?
Weekend was cool, man. I did a Sweet 16 party on Saturday. Shout out to
Okay.
Juju Lee Events. They planned a Sweet
Yes.
16, and it was they went all out, man. They had it looked like a nightclub atmosphere the way they built the room, and they had like a
Really?
velvet rope and a VIP section. And
Okay.
the kid that was having the party really liked Sunny D. So they had like a
Ah,
bucket of ice with like Sunny D bottles in it, made it look
rubbing
like
the
bottle
light, man.
service. Yeah. And
Yeah,
they
that
had
takes
some Sunny D mixed drinks in like martini glasses with the colorful sugar on it. So they went all out, man. It was a good party, and I
nice, nice,
provided the music for that, and the kids went
nice.
nuts and they loved it, man.
Oh, cool,
That's
man.
all I
Cool.
did.
My week was fairly light last week. I did I think when we were on last Tuesday, I said it was a birthday party. It
Hmm.
actually was a 20th year anniversary party
Oh yeah.
for one of the employees at the Bonefish Grill.
Okay.
So shout out to Thomas Hunter. We did that performance there. It was very nice. And then Friday, the chairman of the board and the executives, we were in at High Point University for Family Weekend. I got my T-shirt on. Shout out to my cousin Napoleon, who was out
Yeah.
there in High Point. It was a private event, Napoleon. Other than that, I would have hit you up, but it was
Mm.
for the families that have students that go there, and it was set up really cool, man. We were inside the arena, but well, they have ballrooms
Yeah.
where the arena is. So
Yeah.
we did the first ballroom from 6 to 7, and then the crowd would migrate to another ballroom. There was the Journey cover band or
Okay.
Journey tribute band or whatever.
Yeah.
Who's Bad was supposed to be there, but initially,
Hmm.
but by the time we got there, they had changed up the card or whatever. But
Okay.
closing out the night inside the arena was KC and the Sunshine Band. And we went ahead and came on home though, because they were going last, and we only played an hour. We were just an
Hmm.
hour and a half away, so
Okay.
we ended up coming on back. But it was a
Yeah.
good time, good
Yeah.
time,
Cool.
you know.
Cool. Good deal,
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah, and I got to introduce you, and then we're gonna bring our guests out. We got to make our introductions, huh?
Hey, man.
just because it may be some first time
In
watchers,
case you're here
maybe
for the
some
first
last
time.
time watchers. Yeah, but
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, this distinguished gentleman to the left hand side of the screen, not only is he the executive producer of this platform as well as being a co-host, he is a event coordinator. He's a
Mhm.
digital media strategist
Yeah.
as well as an entertainment consultant. Can we put applause, hand claps in the chat if you guys are not
Oh,
busy holding your sandwich and your iced tea? Let's make some noise for no other than DJ Famous, aka
oh, this
Travis
guy.
Wiesel.
This
You
guy.
heard?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm
Yeah.
just a little podcast producer, man. Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing.
I don't do much.
I don't do much, man. It's not like I'm the music director for the chairman of the board,
Good,
North
good.
Carolina Music Hall of Fame, Rock Hill Music Hall of Fame, Mellow Groove, rapper, producer, host of a podcast, and the That's My Story podcast. It's not like I'm Jerry Midas Hardison or something.
Oh man,
You
that
know what
guy's
I'm
good.
saying?
That guy's good, isn't he?
Anyway.
Appreciate it.
Yo,
Appreciate
man,
it.
tell them about our guest today, brother.
Man, what I will say in brief summary, like being out here on this road, ladies and gentlemen, playing in bands, you run into other bands. Some of them you play shows with, some of them you run into quite a bit.
Yeah.
And and you become cool with certain guys in these different bands, whatever. You see each other enough, you end up on different shows together and whatnot. So you end up building a rapport. And so, man, so this guy he's a singer songwriter as well as producer. He performs primarily with the Tams and the 24 Karat Gold Band. You guys have heard of "Be Young, Be Foolish," right? You know that song. But yeah, man. So we've gotten cool and we built a rapport. And I was like, yo, I gotta have you on the show sometime, and he
Yeah.
obliged. He was down with it, and he's excited to be here today to share his story with us and with the rest of you out there. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please help me welcome singer, songwriter, producer, amazing artist, none other than CJ Bell, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What's happening?
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
man, we are doing great. Not too shabby for a Tuesday. What about yourself?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. The weather's changed, so that automatically, like, it changes your whole mood. Like,
Yeah,
sometimes when it's gloomy and rainy outside, it just kind of brings you down a little bit. But when that sun pops out, I'm
yeah,
good. God
Yeah.
is
yeah.
still in this.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
appreciate you joining us today, man, and taking a moment out of your day just to come
Hey,
on and have a
thanks for
chat with
having me.
us. Yeah, absolutely. And let me tell the people, this is kind of an icebreaker, but I'm gonna tell the people at home, how we built the rapport. Like you remember when we were at Emerald Owl last year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you remember so so you remember when we were coming off stage, y'all were coming in.
Right. It was a
Yeah,
brief report right there.
yeah, just a brief exchange. But
Yeah.
I told you, you remember what I told you when you guys got there?
No.
Okay, well, I'm gonna back it up a second. So,
Right.
mind you, this is like September, August, September. We're out in Emerald Isle. It's still warm out. And the chairman of the board and the executives, we played fairly early in the day. Like we played, but there's a green room under a tent outside. The hospitality staff, the hospitality staff
I think
had
I remember
uncovered the
now.
food. Yeah, they uncovered the food, but then it got so warm that the
Yeah.
insects and the flies and stuff came out. They didn't cover the food, so I didn't. We
Right.
didn't really partake. So me being a good
Right.
Samaritan, looking out for my fellow,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, peers and all of that, I would say, "Yo, man, over to the side, hey, tell your people don't eat the food, man. Hey, the food, the
Hey,
food
that
hasn't
was
been
good looking
covered
out.
up
I
yet."
do remember that conversation now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so
That was
that's just
wild.
to say, yeah. Now, if we didn't have rapport, I would have just kept it moving. So
Right.
when you got rapport with people, You know what I'm saying? You try to look out for them. So that's just a little icebreaker, fun fact
I
before we get
appreciate
into
that. I appreciate
no
that, brother.
doubt,
You
man.
saved this
No
man's
doubt.
life, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
too much. It's too much going on out here these days to be eating, food that flies have done the crip walk all over. So
Right.
nonetheless,
Right.
nonetheless, we're gonna get into it, ladies and gentlemen. So CJ, we're gonna start at the beginning. Tell our audience as well as us, tell us like where you're born and raised, and give us a little backstory about your childhood and growing up. You're out in Tennessee right now, correct?
Yeah. I live in Seymour right now, which is kind of close to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. In the country, in the mountains.
Yeah.
But I was born and raised in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay.
You um, so I mean that's just where I'm from, man. And you know, I mean, if you're talking about getting started in the music or whatever,
Well, we're gonna
growing.
get to that. Just tell us a little bit about, you know what I'm saying, like
Okay.
a little bit about your childhood, which eventually led to you getting interested in music.
Okay. Well, I mean, my childhood was different. Son to a single mother, and she had like some mental illnesses and stuff like that. So I kind of grew up being in the middle of that nearly my whole life. But she always listened to music around the house and stuff, and I'm always just kind of listening or whatever. And, she'd have on some Elvis or some, Johnny Cash or Brenda Lee, some old,
Yeah. Oh,
old country stuff.
Mm.
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, the old school sound, Temptation, stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. So I was very, I heard a little bit of everything. So,
Yeah,
um,
that's good.
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So is that what led you initially to first start like having an ear for music, or realizing that you were loving or being drawn to what you were hearing?
Yeah, I love music, man. My mom was always dancing around the house, stuff like that. And I'd come home from school. She's always, I mean, music is just constantly playing and stuff. But so initially, like, it just got into me as far as like, got me into it a little bit. And, I started humming here and there with certain songs that I kind of started liking.
Yeah.
I was about 7 or 8 years old. So it was like, but then I had my own kind of music I like to listen to also. Growing up, it was mainly like old school hip hop and stuff like that, and maybe
Right.
some old R&B stuff. But I would kind of hum along to some things that she would be playing, and
Right.
and just one day, man, I was just in my room, and I was just I sang along to a little bit of like actually put
Yeah,
notes
to the record.
onto it.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I was always afraid to sing it from my mom because I didn't want to be like, "You don't sound good. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I started thinking I kind of sound like that, like I'm mimicking it pretty good. But I
Right.
didn't know I didn't have any interest. It's like, oh, I thought I was a singer or nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Now,
just
do you remember how
happened like,
old you were? Do you remember how old you were at that particular time where you were starting to sing along with the records and things like that?
yeah, probably about eight, eight
Hey,
years
okay,
old.
okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
you about like
yeah,
third grade or so. Yeah. Now, did
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Now, yeah. Now, did you like sing in church or anything, or did you eventually get into like doing any type of talent shows throughout school, or anything that would help you further your craft?
Well, now I would go to church with my sister and her husband when I was a young kid, but I never got up there to sing, or I would always listen to the choir, or kind of bored. I was a kid, I was
Yeah.
just kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
when can we go eat? I was just ready to go, but as I got older, I got into it a little bit more.
mhm.
But when I got in high school, and actually in the fourth grade, I think. I ended up getting in a talent show, but had
Okay.
nothing to do with singing. It was, back then, it was kind of like I was with four other guys, and we did. I think they did we did New Edition, and
Okay.
what's funny is like it's like four white kids and one brother, but we were all friends.
Okay.
So it was like
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Uh-oh. I think his phone.
that's basically what we were doing, lip syncing.
Okay. Okay.
So I kind of started doing talent shows like that, you know.
Okay. All right. Cool deal, man.
So
So,
was it?
okay. So, go ahead, Famous. My
I was
fault.
just gonna say, was there a point where someone else heard you singing or humming along to something that kind of gave you the confidence to say, oh, maybe I can.
You know what? When I got a little older, my mom would be going out to the bars and stuff. Like, you know, I couldn't wait for her to leave. I was like, all right, Fred, have a good time. As soon as she left, man, I'm cranking that music
Yeah.
and I'm singing, and you know, I'm standing there like I'm doing a show. Like, you know, I'm singing every song on the album, like Ready
Yeah.
for the World and Truth and
Oh
New
yeah.
Edition stuff, you know, R&B stuff, you know. And I was like, I was putting on a show, man. But no, when I was in sixth grade, when I got to sixth grade, that's when I actually sang like a cappella on the playground one day around some girls. You know, I was trying to see what they was going to say, you know. And they was like, "Oh, dang, you can sing." I was like, "Can I?" I mean, I tried, I'm just messing around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll
Yeah.
usually do it.
Yeah. Typically, because
So
we've
you
had
got the
other.
girls attention, you're like, "Huh."
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get the approval from the female audience, as we've seen Famous with other guests that sing, once they got that approval from the females, that was all they needed
Yeah.
to continue.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
so, yeah, and
Good, man.
you got to. It's important to have that moment where not only do you have the talent, but you have the confidence to go along with the talent, because it's not easy, man. When you got to get in front
Right.
of people and sing or play an instrument or do whatever, it's not easy, you know. But to have the talent, not only that, but to have the confidence to go along with it is very, very important.
Right.
Very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Hey, I still use that method today.
Yeah. You have to. You have to. Just don't
I'm looking,
sing. Just,
hey, I'm looking for certain ones in the albums today. I'm not trying to flash forward, but it helps.
Yeah, it definitely does. Hey,
yeah,
low key, that's how I started singing in middle school, because just like what you
Okay.
described, a couple girls was like, "Oh, you got a nice little voice." We did little talent shows. High school
the
girls
little
wasn't the
voice,
same, so I stopped.
Now, let me tell you, I will tell you in high school now, there was having a talent show, and I played basketball all through school. So, you know, somebody came in the auditorium. They was saying, or in the gym one day when we was at practice, and they was like, you know, the talent show coming up. A lot of the football players are gonna get up there and sing something. You know, I don't know what it was, man, something corny or whatever. I was like, they're gonna sing like for real, like not lip syncing. They was like, yeah. I was like, we can do that. They was like, yeah. I was like, okay, because that's what I want to do. And that's when I decided, okay, I'm about to just let it go and let everybody see what I can do. Like,
Yeah.
and I did, what did I do? I did, I think I did It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday by Boys
Oh,
to Men.
that was a
Acapella,
classic
bro.
talent show.
The classic.
Yeah.
And it went over like really well, man. And at that point, man, I was hooked. As far as being that's what I wanted to do, you know.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And so that was high school.
Where we go? Everybody go.
Did
Yeah.
we go off air for a second?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Internet
Okay.
kicked us off.
All good. All good. Hopefully, there we go. We had to
Yeah.
sign back in.
Internet kicked us off, but we back.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
case you know, ladies and gentlemen, we are
We
live.
live.
You know, we got to do like Destiny's Child. If we fall down, whatever happens, we got the hot mic back up, and we got to gotta keep going, you know. And while we before we pick back up, just want to thank everybody for jumping on and hanging out with us today.
Absolutely.
For the latest episode of No Shortcut Show. But I think I was in the middle of asking you, after high school, what else did you find yourself getting into as far as opportunity wise, things that would help you further along your craft?
After high school, man, I met. Okay, in high school, after I did that first talent show, I got into a small group with some
Mhm.
other guys I was in chorus with. I was in chorus all through. I did the chorus 4 years of high school. Most
Nice,
of it
nice.
is in music started. All did chorus, man,
Hmm.
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
something
Even
like
I did
that.
it once upon a time.
Me too.
Yep.
So we had a little three-part, three member group, man, and all we did was acapella stuff. And we was so then we started doing other talent shows in school, doing shy stuff like that. That Boys to Men, that's very acapella that you can do harmonization with,
Hmm.
and we
Right.
sounded good. You know what I mean? We called ourselves smooth as silk.
Okay. Yeah,
I like
nice,
it.
nice,
I
nice.
like it.
But,
Yeah.
but so the other guys, they were like really like their parents were really strict, man, and they were really into church and stuff like that. So their parents didn't like us trying to go that route, singing this
Not
kind of
the
music.
R&B. Yeah.
Yeah, they was like, no, I think that boy's a bad influence. That CJay boy, he's probably like a bad influence. Yeah. So we didn't get to like pursue it any further than that because we was at the mall one day and we ran into some guys that claimed to be producers. At a popular clothing store at the mall where we was at, and we
Okay.
sang for them. He was like, "Y'all a group?" Because we dressed the part and everything, man. I
Yeah.
mean,
Hmm.
we just did it.
Right.
Um, and so they wanted to record us and stuff like that, but that's kind of where it went. Like it didn't transpire because of the parents or whatever. But
Hmm.
Mhm.
uh, as I grew older, man, I was in a group called Paradise,
Paradise.
Paradice, and it
Oh,
stood for
Paradise.
Please.
A
Okay.
paradise.
It, it was an acronym that stood for Please Always Remember Alcohol and Drugs Influence Children Every Day.
Nice.
Now,
Okay.
one of my good friends, Greg Carney, man, he was a rapper, and he did a lot of positive raps and stuff like that. So I sang a lot of the hooks and stuff like that. There's a 5 member group,
Okay.
um, so we was just doing like, you know, we was getting in high schools and middle schools and elementary schools, man, and we was trying to spread a positive word,
Yeah.
trying to do some positive stuff. And
Yeah.
we was on the news a couple of times, and it seemed like it was going pretty good, man. And just doing that, and um, I don't know, it's just kind of where we started. That's my first, I guess, way of coming of being in any type of group,
Hmm.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And
So
that's great when you guys are trying to spread a positive
yeah,
message, especially
Yeah.
to the kids. Yeah, that's always major, man. When you
right,
have something positive to build up kids, it's real simple. You either building them up or you're tearing them down.
Hmm.
So to
right,
be able to have that I guess feeling of the desire to speak to the kids and impact them in a positive
right,
way. That's admirable. Not many people choose to go the route of
Hmm.
positivity, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
right.
They want to go with what sells and what's going to go viral and get some
Yeah,
clout.
hey, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
clout, clout is
Hey,
the new currency.
constantly thinking of gimmicks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great, man. That's great. So and then all right. So then you eventually now you got to tell us about because you ended up working with one of the twins from Jagged Edge. You got to lead us
Oh
up to
yeah.
how you met him and the work that you guys were able to put in.
Okay. All right. So after high school, I would hit these karaoke spots, man, because I like to entertain, even though I didn't know how to go about trying to get anything out of this and that. But I ended up linking up with one producer. His name was Javier. He played a lot of Spanish guitar and stuff like that. So, and he had a little studio, man, and we did some acoustic stuff, recordings, and original songs, like songs that me and him had written together. And And so I always had that in my back pocket. Well, I would always take that CD with me, man, everywhere I went. I had like 5 songs on it,
Okay.
original songs. And I ended up hitting up a major spot here in Knoxville called Michael's, and it was a popular place on Monday nights to do karaoke, man. And like the best of the best would come out, man, to sing. Because I mean, the karaoke setup was kind of like a little show. So that's how we kind of honed our skills as far as being an entertainer. And and I mean, I'm trying to be seen, so you never know who's going to be in the house. And
gotta be on the scene.
and guess who was in the house one Monday night? It was the Tams. Okay.
Oh,
Now I'm saying this because I'm not jumping ahead. It's going to come around full circle.
Right.
So when I met Charles Pope, Speedy from the Tams, one of the original members, they were doing a show in the back room at a private event, and I was up there singing. I think I was doing some Babyface or something like that, man. And he approached me. Him and another Tam, Reginald Preston, had approached me and was like, and Speedy was like, "Hey, man, I like your voice, man. You sound real good." He had that soft tone when he talked to you. But you listen to him, you're like looking and listening. He's like, my daughter's Tiny. Tiny. I was like, Tiny? From Escape? He was like, yeah, my daughter's Tiny from Escape. I was like, are you serious, man? He was like, man, that's my daughter, and I'd like for you to come to Atlanta. So that's kind of how I had a CD on me. So I gave him the CD. I was like, I got this disc. He was like, all right, I'm going to let my daughter hear. So not even a week, less than a week, man, when he went back home, he gave me a call and said he wants me to come to Atlanta and meet with Tiny and see what we can do is try to get some stuff together. He wanted to try to get me a deal and try to do all this other stuff, man. And, at that time, this is some years ago. This was when John B hadn't even been out long.
Yeah. You give him a little run for the money.
Yeah.
was, another white dude. So I was like, who the hell is John B? I was like, dang, you don't beat me to it. Yeah, man. So long story short, with that, Tiny was very Escape wasn't doing a lot at that time, so she was just kind of like thinking of what she needs to do for herself. She was a very busy person. She was trying to get her on like a solo project going or whatever. She had different projects, so she didn't really have time to just focus on me as a solo artist or this and that. So that's when she was like, I want to introduce you to some friends of mine with Jagged Edge. She said, she took me over there to their studio, man, and I met Kyle from Jagged Edge, and he was not the twins. You got Kyle, and then you got Wingo.
Wingo, is it Brandon and Brandon and
Brian and Brandon.
Brian and Brandon, yeah.
Yeah, Brian and Brandon are the twins. I didn't meet them till later. Once we started to develop, all right, we're going to work on some stuff. We're going to do this, and that. Well, that's when I met the twins, man. Because, hey, I ain't never seen nobody write like them boys, man. I did a song with Brandon. He did the track. He sat down, did the track. He wrote the lyrics. And he did every bit of this probably within 30 minutes, and I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
He just knocked it out. And he was like, man, he's like, we're about to lay this song down. I was like, okay. So he laid down some dummy vocals on the hook. He was like, I just want you to sing right on top of that, and he produced it that way. So we just kind of knocked that record out. Well, we ended up doing, 4 and 5 songs. We had 4 or 5 songs. And then, next thing I know, I'm doing this in a short span, like on Cliff Notes,
Oh yeah.
Over months of time of things transpiring. Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
We did get some recording done, and Kyle was like, "Hey, Jermaine wants to meet you." I was like, "Okay, what's up?" And then that's when the business started getting a little bit funny, man, because he was like, "Well, I need you to look over this paperwork before I take you to meet him," and I was like, "Here we go."
Yeah.
Lock him in.
Were they trying to put you? You feel like they was trying to put you in a production deal?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Before,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, that's exactly what it was. And
yeah,
I don't blame him, man. I mean, I could run off and get a deal, and you'd be left high and dry.
Right.
yeah,
You know.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, that's
yeah.
just business. That's the business part.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
but I'm keeping it clean on here. I can't tell you
So
everything that happened
so
in between that.
it sounds like they thought if they brought you to Jermaine, Jermaine would try to scoop you up on his own, and then they would have got nothing from him.
Yeah,
Exactly, because
it's
that's
funny
exactly
like
what he
that.
would have done.
Trying to
They
protect.
knew that's what he would have done.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah,
told me
yeah,
that.
yeah. And it is crazy because I recall I don't know if it was Brian or Brandon, but they attributed Candy from Escape to introducing
Yeah,
them to Jermaine.
yeah,
So
Okay.
you know, it only makes sense that you met Tiny and then you met the other guys
yeah,
from Jagged Edge. They was all kind
yeah,
of
Yeah.
I guess in cahoots together at the time, you know. So Candy was trying to put on Brian and Brandon at the same, you know,
Yeah.
back in that part.
So he
Shout out
said
to my
Jermaine.
cousin Katina, right fast. Katina Gillespie Bridges is on. Shout out to your boy Craig is on. Craig made it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's up,
Everybody
Craig? I
that's
can't see none of the comments, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody
I
that's
tagged you.
on, head to
I
this
hope it's
link
on the
right
page.
here. Just hit this link right here so we can see your names. I can't see anybody's names if you don't hold to this link,
Yeah, I can see them right there.
ecam.live/connect, and just
Yes,
give it
sir.
permission to see your profile. So I can't see who you are unless you do that.
Mhm.
Other than that, it just says Facebook user,
Yeah,
unless you hit that
that's
link.
Craig. Craig, I can see it on my end, but yeah,
Okay.
definitely hit that link, guys, so we can pop you up
yeah.
and
Hey,
everything.
Craig.
We can
Hey,
see who
hey, Craig. Hey, that guy Craig, that
you are.
group Paradise that I was talking about. He was
He
our
was in there.
manager at the time.
Oh,
Nice.
He
okay.
was one of our managers at the time.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
he was like, I
Okay.
need to talk to him about that boy.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
man.
yeah. So yeah, Craig and I corresponded briefly yesterday. I was just trying to make sure he
Okay.
was going to be able to get here. I tagged you in it, CJ. Hopefully it's on your news feed. You know, I hope that's how
Yeah.
he was able to find it. But nonetheless,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
welcome everyone. So yeah, but
Yeah.
you guys are incredible vocalists, man. So to have
Hmm.
them, they were already signed at the time to So Def.
Jagged
Or
Edge.
Yeah.
yeah, they were already signed then, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. When I met him, man, I sit in the studio and they was like, "You want to hear our album that we got a song off the album we got coming out?" And it was "Where the Party At." So that
Ah,
wasn't that really wasn't that was what 20 years. I mean, it was some
yeah.
years ago, but
Yeah.
Which album was that?
it's
That
not.
was like
They
second
already
or
had
third.
That was like
They
their
a
already
couple
had
of
third.
albums.
the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That J.E. Heartbreak was probably my favorite one at that time.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that
good.
was it. The J.E. Heartbreak album.
That's when Jermaine was bringing in. I think that's the first time I had heard Brian Michael Cox
Oh yeah,
producing. He brought him in
yeah.
to give him that softer sound, and they did their thing, man. So much kudos to them. But that's got to be kind of crazy to have them guys in the studio writing a record for you, man. And like here
Boy,
you go.
it was
Mhm.
crazy, man. Because I was just sitting there and like it was just overwhelming. Like, am I really here right now
Hmm.
and with these
Yeah.
guys, man? And
Hmm.
listening to this music that nobody's even heard that I already knew was going to be a hit.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm messing with these guys. They was cool, man. But you know,
Yeah.
things happen, man. And
Yeah. They do. They do.
I you know I went from that situation just because I got to fast forward just a little bit
Sure.
to another situation to where I worked with another production company. That's where I did the Say video, that other video that I sent
Okay,
you guys.
we're
Hmm.
gonna get into that here in a minute too. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's
Well,
go.
yeah, man, the JE stuff, man, and it worked out like it's supposed to.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, and then because everything ain't it all the time, but you still take advantage
Right.
and the experience that you had and
Right.
build upon. And while I'm saying that, quick shout out to Jermaine Dupree. Shout out to his dad, Michael Malden. They're both in the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
Michael Malden came to one of our shows, chairman of the board shows last year at Middle C. Good
Oh
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's very cool, man.
He lives in Charlotte now. I guess after he got into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame, and he got inducted. I think he
Uh,
ended up, maybe doing some business, meeting some friends, whatever. But he ended up moving here to Charlotte area. So I
Sweet.
got a
Oh,
chance to
that's
meet.
awesome, man.
We got
It's
a
a
That's
pig.
we got a
Yeah.
commenter. A commenter says, "Let's hear about the roller coasters at Dollywood."
Oh, that's Craig.
awesome. Hey,
It's Craig trolling.
hey,
He trolling you?
around that time when I worked with him. I actually, the first time I actually really got into a multi-million-dollar studio was through him because he did a lot of graphics and stuff like that for a lot of gospel groups at the time.
Oh,
You
nice.
know, so he was like, "Man, I work at a studio. We can go in there late at night, something like that." We just started dabbling, messing around and stuff like that. But I lived with him for a period of time, and I needed a job, so I went applied for Dollywood up there, and
Yeah, I bet that
I
was
got a
fun.
job working on one of the roller coasters
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Hey,
for summer. And I'll tell you what, hey, that's one of the best jobs I had, man. I
I
met all
bet.
kinds of women.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I bet. So,
Absolutely.
so lead us up to the "Say What" song that you
Hmm.
did back in the day, and then
Say.
we'll throw that video on. Did I say
Okay,
what I?
yeah. After the Jagged Edge thing, I met this production company through an individual that I met through Jagged Edge. And see, that's something I can't really talk about because this is a clean show.
Okay.
So that's the dirt. I mean, that's the bad part of like a lot of the situations that I've been in. But long story short, I met this guy in a production company through this certain person, and he had worked with like Little Zane and
Okay.
some other rappers, man, who was doing some bigger stuff, man, and but he was very low key, man. He was low key, and but he had a real nice studio, and he had a business partner, Shandon Anderson, for the New York Knicks, was like one of the financial backers behind the whole thing, and he told me, he said, I want to cut some records, man. He's like, I want to, we'll take some pictures, we'll do some videos, and we're gonna try to get you a deal. We'll try to do that. And I worked with him for God almost 2 years, a little over a year, almost 2 years, and I'm just recording all the time and just doing stuff and getting stuff together. Like I never had an official release of anything because I'd get in these situations that took years of my life that they don't want nothing to get out. They don't want to put nothing out yet. They're trying to get me a deal and do this and do that. So that nothing was ever released. I had a CD with songs on it that I've done that I could play for people, and they'd be like, "Man, that's hot," or "I like that," but it wasn't to the public.
Yeah.
So that Save video was one of the videos that we did 5 videos actually, but that was the one that we used in the EP, the press kit, to send to labels, and that's where the video came from.
Yeah.
Well, let's see a
And I was
little bit of it.
26 years old at that time, bro.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna run that.
Let's see a little bit of it. See what you was doing at
we'll be
25,
right.
26.
All right.
Damn, I can't believe you got me feeling this way. But you got me. Now I don't know what it is about you, and I just can't seem to get over you. Baby, hold me, touch me, lay with me tonight. I want and need it, longing for you to hold me so tight. My love, give up. My love, go. My love,
listen, tell John B. We got him.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
I was coming for John B, bro. I was coming
yeah,
for him.
yeah. Gave him a little run for the money, man.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
absolutely.
ab-
That's good
that's
stuff, man.
crazy.
appreciate you, man.
Had that
Appreciate
R
that.
that early '90s R&B vibe going. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
man. Because that was actually around 2001, I think.
man,
So that was a while back. God dang, I'm getting old now, man.
surprise, man. Yeah. I was
Uh,
just gonna. Oh, go
so
ahead. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
man, what happened with that situation? I came to the studio one day, just randomly. We were supposed to be set up to record or do something. I came to the
Hmm.
studio and it was gone completely.
Wow.
The
Had
dude
you up and
was
out there.
gone. Yeah, the all the studio was gone, man, and I never heard from that dude again. He
Yeah.
basically took all this dude's money. Cause look, I'm telling you, when I first met the guy, he had like a 19, I don't know what it was, a F-150 truck. And the more we started working together, and you got a Hummer now. You got a 740 BMW, 745 BMW, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm over
That.
here barely making it down here, man, in my car.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I
That
see
reminds.
the money.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we
I was just
start
gonna
taking
say.
advantage of the money situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me of our former guest. You remember Sherry Songbird Phillips? She was
Yeah.
his story
I was thinking
reminds
about
me a
that
lot
too.
of, yeah, like what she said. And for artists, man, it's such a gray area game because you don't necessarily know who to trust, whose intentions are good. But her story and your story and that particular those particular details sound very similar to what she went through. She was,
Yeah.
shout out to her, by the way. She was
Right,
recording music, going to the studio, and the guy had plenty of money at first and was back and everything, and all of
right,
a sudden it just dried up. So
right.
and these are circumstances that artists can't control because
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're entrusting that the business is going to be done properly, and these folks have your best intentions in mind. But what I will encourage, because as we know better, we do better. Make sure you and as this goes to anybody, and I'm not just talking specifically to CJ. If you're an artist and you're about to get into something, get a lawyer. Get a lawyer to look over paperwork,
yeah,
just to feel. And
yeah.
a lot of times, the people know you got a lawyer, an entertainment lawyer, whatever that you can go to. They less likely to play with you.
That's
But
And
we
true.
you know
all
what?
got
I had an entertainment attorney at that point,
really,
and
really.
he did advise me, don't sign with these guys.
Wow,
He's like,
wow.
don't. And and I was like, okay, but my options are thin. I think, like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I was young, man. I
Yeah.
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
thinking.
yeah, yeah. We
So
all have been through something like that.
Absolutely.
We all have, and
yeah,
that's part of taking the bumps. No artist makes it on the scene unscathed. You're gonna have some bumps in the road. I had a opportunity to talk to some legends a few years ago. When I was doing That's My Story, people that was legendary, and they too.
right.
It happens. It's part of the game until you smarten up and
Yeah.
you're like, okay. So but going through those things early on and getting them out the way, they help you know what to avoid the pitfalls as you continue to progress in your
Right.
career. But yeah, yeah,
I
it
mean,
happens.
it's all a learning curve, but
Yeah.
when do you stop learning? Because it just
Never.
seems like
Never
it's
stop
just
learning.
a snowball effect
Yeah.
to where
Hmm.
you think you're in another good situation and you're like, man, this sounds so familiar. Like,
Yeah,
dang, what's
yeah,
going on? Like,
yeah,
huh?
and I was gonna say too. Now we have Google and everything at our disposal. So if anybody comes to you, I'm part of such and such a production company or with
Yeah.
this, that, the third. You have the ability to do a little research. Like prior years, you couldn't do any research, but you can now do research
Do a
and you
lot on
can
your own.
see, yeah, see how established
Right.
they might, who are some other clients that they
Yeah,
that they deal with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I didn't have
Yeah.
back then. I didn't really have that kind of. I didn't feel like I had that kind of luxury to go check all that stuff out. But
Oh no,
my
no, no.
attorney, that attorney did. That's why. But I wasn't listening, man. I didn't listen to a
Yeah,
lot of
you was
people that I
ready.
probably
You was
should.
ready. You was focused on the dollar signs and
And I was
everything
looking
else.
at it.
So I
Yeah,
guess
yeah. It was
I
the other
guess
money.
tip number one would be get an attorney. Tip number
Yeah,
two would be listen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, pick number two is very important, man.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
after that, he was
Yeah.
no longer my attorney. He said, I can't represent you if you're not going to listen to me.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It made
you can't.
sense.
It made
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. We
It's
all
all
It
we
right
all
though.
have some bumps in the road. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Yeah.
all right. So and we don't want to be too long winded. We've
Yeah,
been
bring it
on
up to the
about an hour
Thames.
already.
I
Yeah,
know, man.
yeah.
That's why
But
I'm
it's
trying to
all.
scrunch it. I'm trying to scrunch it.
It's all
Nah,
right.
take your time. We don't have to fit it all into an hour exactly. It can spill over a little bit. So after that, you were able to you recorded that song and you did that video and whatnot and you put it out. What are some other things that you got into that led up to you? I know you said you had to double back as far as the TAM situation
Yeah.
is concerned. The 24,
Yeah.
the
Well, because
24.
that's kind of it's where I started and where I ended is where I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
That's where it
yeah,
came
yeah,
full circle with the whole thing.
yeah.
But as I was working with that production company, he also sent me over to a guy named Adonis Shropshire,
Okay.
who is a bad boy producer for
Mm,
P. Diddy. He was a bad boy at the time. I did
okay.
some records, man, that was really for 112. Like I was doing some other, like I recorded 3 songs with him, man. He did the I Need a Girl remix for Usher.
Mm-hmm.
He
Oh yeah,
did,
yeah, yeah.
so he's big time, bro. He's done work with Beyonce and all kinds of people.
Wow.
Now, when I worked with him, he seen my video too. He was like,
Mhm.
all right. This is what he did. My the guys I was working with at that production company, the shady one, um, I met him, Adonis, through them. So they sent me
Oh,
over there to record. Well, Adonis was like, hey, man, it was just me and him one night. He was like, you need to just come sign with me, bro. I was
mhm.
like, what? He was like, I'll take you to Diddy now if you want to do it. I was like, man, I said, I can't do that, man. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was trying to be loyal about the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
I didn't know even if it was a setup to see what I was going to do.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I'm
so
saying?
yeah, it's so
It's
so
tricky, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
very tricky.
Um, so I declined. I was like,
Mhm.
nah, I'm gonna go ahead and stay with them, man, and let's get these, So we did the songs, and he wouldn't give me no copies of that, man. Them
Oh
records
wow.
were them records was fire. He wouldn't let me leave with them copies.
Mm,
I
mm.
mean, because I was gonna be playing it somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And a lot of times producers of a certain status, they not gonna
Yeah,
let the record leave, you
Yeah.
know. So now let me ask you, were you doing demos with him for 112? You doing demos?
I did demos with Adonis. Yeah, I did 3 songs with him.
Okay.
Um, one of the songs that he's did stuff for 112 too. It's all
Yeah.
Atlanta based.
Oh yeah.
Um, um, it was like a song that was for 112. He was like, it's kind of one of them they tossed to the side. But man, it was hot. It was a hot record.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You could have used
You
it
know,
if anything if it didn't get placed, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah. If anything, it could have worked for me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I was doing choreography and all kinds of stuff back then. I was the Justin Timberlake before Justin Timberlake.
That's
You know?
right.
I want to tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt,
I
no
was.
doubt. Yeah,
I
so
was. Man.
yeah, so you
And,
spending a lot of time in Atlanta.
yeah. A whole
Still to
lot of
this
time
day.
in Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, so tell the people about your travels, man. Like because you live in Tennessee, and you with the Tams, and they're based out of
yeah,
Atlanta. Tell the
right.
people if you don't mind sharing like your grind, man, to get to a show.
Okay. Let me tell you how I got back with the Tams real
Sure,
quick.
sure.
After all that stuff, after I went all through that stuff, man, and that the studio was gone, I felt like I didn't have any. I felt like I was back at zero. I had nothing
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
So I went back home to Knoxville, man. I got a job, started working a regular job for about 5 years, maybe
Mm.
5, 6 years. Like I'm
Okay.
just still kind of doing karaoke. I'm still kind of doing this and that, but I'm not doing anything. Like all my dreams are gone. It's like,
Yeah.
um, but one day, man, I just got up, man, and I was like, I was working at a warehouse job, and I was like, this can't be my life. Like this cannot be my life. I
Mm-hmm.
I can't do this. Um, So somehow I got in contact. I got on Facebook because I wasn't on Facebook at the time. Well, one of the Tams that was on Facebook reached out to me, and he was like, "Hey, you need to call Diane right now." And that's Red's mom.
Yeah, yeah. She
That's Tiny's mom
manages
also.
to operate. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
friends
that's
with her.
Tiny's mom also.
That's what now?
Yeah, that's Tiny's mother also.
Oh, Diane is.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
yeah.
realize that. Okay, I'm friends with
Oh
her.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Shout out to
Because
her.
you
I
know,
didn't realize.
Speedy or Charles Pope, Tiny was,
Yeah.
he was her father.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
her mother is Diane.
Yeah, yeah.
See what I'm
And you
saying?
just said that. I just ain't put it together.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you just
And
say
then
that.
of course, the son, the brother is Little Red.
Yeah.
He was like, "You need to call Diane right now." So I called her on my lunch break, man. She
Right
was like,
now.
"CJ, what?" She cussed me. She was like, "CJ, where the hell you been? We've been trying to find you. We've been trying to find you for years." And I was like, "I know, Diane. I've been through some stuff." I said, "I'm just
Yeah.
working now." She said, "Do you want a job?" I said, "A job doing what?" She was like, "Opening for 14 karat gold band."
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
I was
I've
like,
been Bruno Mars in it the whole time. Man,
24K.
man, 24 hours.
"Hey, you know how many venues does this?" And they'll be like,
Yeah,
"All right, now we got the 24 karat gold band," and I'm like,
yeah.
No.
14 carry. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, dang, I've been Bruno Mars in it the whole time. Saying 24. It's all
"Hey,
good.
it's all good, brother."
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
but no, she was like, "Come down this weekend." So we set up for that following weekend, and I met with her, man, and she gave me a job, man, and that was 9 years ago, bro. And
Wow.
yeah, and so I've been with them ever since, and it's been amazing. And a lot of people, they look at it. Some people might look at it as like, "Man, you never really made it, bro." But why didn't I?
Yeah, you have.
Why,
Now,
why didn't
You
I?
worked
I
at
do
it.
what I do what I love to do for a living, and I'm with a major a group that's one of the biggest beach bands there is.
Yep.
They had him.
yep.
So how did they make it, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how we end up on a lot of these same shows. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? When they got multiple bands or it's a big weekend or whatever. Hey, we have a great time out in Virginia Beach every year. Shout out
Yeah.
to all our people
Yeah.
out there. That's an
Woo!
overnighter
Tell 'em-
right
Can
on
we
the beach.
talk about it? Can we
Tell,
talk about it?
tell them to check whenever they say you didn't make it. Tell them to check your travel mileage.
Hey, I tell
Oh
you,
yeah,
boy.
Working.
yeah,
Yeah, working. But yeah, as far as the travel, we'll get back
Oh
into
yeah,
that now. Yeah, where I live, every week I'm driving 4 hours just to get to Atlanta to get on our bus to head out to wherever we're going. Um, it might be 5, 6, 7 hours, 9 sometimes. So the road life is not easy, man. Then you
Yeah.
get to the venue. So I'm already been on the road basically 13 hours, just riding. So when I get there, you got to set up and you got to get ready for the show. And then you got to make sure you got to have sound check. Then you got to eat. Then you got to get dressed. Then it's showtime. But you can't look tired or act tired. You got to go out there and do your thing.
yeah. Get them
So
what they need.
I'm just so used to it now, bro. I don't even think about it. Like I don't even,
Yeah,
I'm just used to it. And then, then you ride back home to Atlanta because that's where we normally meet at.
yeah,
Because everybody's mostly out of Atlanta. And then I'll drive another 4 hours home, man, and take about a day to rest,
yeah,
get
Do
ready
it.
for the next
Do it
yep,
again.
man. Yeah,
do it
and
all
it's
again.
a grind. It's a grind, but like you were saying, man, you get to do what you love to do, what you're
Right.
gifted at doing, and you get, you're making money from doing that. And not
Yeah.
not not a large percentage of people can say those three things, that they're making money from doing something that they enjoy, something that they're
Exactly.
gifted at
That's the
doing. So
definition of making it right there.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
I mean that's the definition of success to me.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I know before the times I was working in a hot warehouse, bro, burning my hands with hot glue and this and that. Now I
Yeah,
get to make money singing.
yeah.
That's success to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely,
just saying.
absolutely. And you get to we're gonna play this video here in a minute, but you also get to you get to do your own stuff on the side. You're not restricted from
Yeah.
having the freedom to
Right.
record your own material.
Right.
And you do have a new single coming up. We're gonna get into that as well. But you mind if we play the video that from the
Yeah, this
Absolutely.
Tams?
is a 14 karat gold band. I think we was performing somewhere. I'm not sure where it was at.
All right.
Yeah,
We're gonna
many
roll
places.
to
I
the
can't keep
video.
up either, man. It's so many places sometimes.
Just one comment before we go to the video. We got Katina Bridges says
Yeah,
there's a saying: if you do what you love, you've never worked a day in your
In your
life.
life.
that's my
Yeah,
Katina.
cousin right there.
Okay.
Much love
that's
to
true.
her for
Shout
hopping
out.
on and sharing with us for a little while. All right, we're gonna get into this
Awesome.
video real
Let's get into the
fast.
video of CJ Bell and the 14 karat
Gold
gold
band.
band.
Yeah, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, yeah,
awesome,
yeah.
man.
Classic.
So let me get this straight. In the beginning, you was coming for John B, and now you starting to come for Justin Timberlake a bit because you're doing the dancing and the band leader and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah. Man, like I said, Justin took my spot, bro. People don't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
He beat
But
me
you,
to it, bro.
yeah,
But I love Justin. He's a cool cat. And like one
Yeah.
of the guitar players, I think at that time played with NSYNC, went on
okay.
tour with NSYNC, which is Justin used to be in NSYNC, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
He was like, man, he's like, you remind me a whole lot of Justin. I said, I bet I do.
Yeah, yeah. You stole my style. He's a swagger jacker.
He took
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
style.
But
No,
you,
I'm just kidding.
yeah, but you got your
No,
own.
but
You got your
humbly,
own
man,
lane and your
humbly
own.
speaking, bro, that
Absolutely.
was just cool that he knew Justin, and he was like,
Yeah,
man, you remind me a lot of him. So that let me know, I was doing, pretty good.
Yeah,
yeah,
Made me
yeah,
feel like
for
I
absolutely.
was
sure,
doing some good things.
for
Yeah, I
sure.
mean, and
Yeah,
just kind of with the theme of the show, man, it took you a while to get there, longer than what you thought it would take you to get to, what your definition of success is. But I feel like this is exactly what you were supposed to be doing. So if one of those situations beforehand would have worked out, it might have been short lived. You wouldn't,
Yeah,
like Mida said, you wouldn't have had the freedom to do
yeah,
side projects, if you were signed to something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
And this is, you get to do what you love on your terms.
yeah,
right,
yeah.
I
right.
love
And
that.
oftentimes when you're signed to whatever, they want creative control
Right.
also.
Oh
So
Right.
yeah, oh yeah.
so it
They want to
works out the
control
way it's
you.
supposed to. Yeah, man. And
That's
if
what I
if
like
really, go ahead. I'm
about the
sorry.
Tams. Like, that's what I like about the Tams. Like, as long as it don't interfere with what we're doing, I
Yeah,
can
you
kind
can
of
do
do
whatever
what I
you want
want.
to do.
I mean, as
Mhm.
far as like, putting out songs and stuff. Like, I'm not gonna be like getting no deal or nothing probably at my age, but hey, I
Yeah,
can have fun and do independent stuff because that's
Mhm.
where it's at now,
Yeah.
yeah,
and
yeah.
just kind of put out your own stuff.
Yeah, and
So
like being independent, you can just direct to consumer, like
Mhm.
with your
right,
social media platforms. Like hey, I got this dropping, and you can reach what however many friends you got, 2, 3, 4,000 people. If they
Mhm.
choose to support, they
Yeah.
can.
right,
You don't have to worry about distribution and all of that
Mhm.
because everything's right now you can send online, you can purchase online, whatever.
Absolutely.
So it's probably
right.
actually better
Yeah.
to be independent. And then there's no cap on
Mhm.
as far as factoring in age and this and that. You got people that's just going to support you just
Yeah,
because
Mhm.
they know you and are familiar with you. So the rules of the industry don't apply when you're coming from an independent space.
right, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's one of the beauties of it. Yeah, yes, sir.
yeah. And with
All
that
right.
being said, you got
Yeah.
you got a new single that's out.
It's not out.
Oh, it's
Um,
coming out.
we haven't done, like I said, we haven't done an official release even
All
of
right.
this because that's another situation that I'm
Okay.
in currently.
Uh-huh.
And what was the hold up? The hold up with that was we were trying to do a video and release at the same time. So I
Mhm.
think I tried to schedule a video shoot like 4 different times, but it was going to be outside. And then
Mhm.
when the TAMs wasn't working, so I had to
Uh,
work all that stuff
Mm-hmm.
in, bro. Like,
Schedule it
you know,
in.
trying
I
to get
get it.
everything together. And the weather and stuff like that, it started getting canceled because it got rained out, every time. But hopefully this year, man, we can really get it out there. I mean,
Yeah.
and
To
it's a
get.
country song. It's a country song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you
I'm
do R
switching
and
it up
B,
on my guest.
country, whatever. It's not you're not limited to just one
Right,
genre. Now,
right.
if our audience wanted to contact you and they need a vocalist, you do any weddings or any stuff like that too?
Uh, I'm gonna have to move for a second because I got to plug
Yeah,
this phone in. Like,
Okay, that's
do
all
your
good.
thing,
That's
man.
all good.
We had you on longer than expected, huh?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, my phone's on fire.
Yeah,
Uh,
oh yeah, it's gonna heat your phone up. You probably cook an egg on the back of it. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm still selling eggs.
Still
They
selling
two
eggs.
yeah.
two for five. I'll be bagging up every Tuesday. I stop bagging up just to come on and do the live show. Once we log off, I'll be right back to bagging up eggs.
My man.
You know what? It's actually not gonna let me plug it up
Okay.
because it's warm.
Oh, okay.
What's your percent look like?
Low.
It's all
Okay,
right.
well,
Five,
We wrapping it
yeah.
up.
So just
14,
so yeah.
14,
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah,
14.
we got it, we got it. So we go ahead and let you drop your contact information. Famous, you need me to type it in?
No, I got it. I'm ready.
Okay. So yeah, if our audience wants to contact you on IG, Facebook, email, whatever website, drop us a few contact points.
Yeah, IG man, CJ Bell 865. I'm on TikTok also. I'm kind of busy I stay kind of busy on them.
Yeah, yeah,
That's one
yeah.
of my biggest platforms I think that I've been using. And
Okay,
Facebook, of course, just look up CJAYBELL, and
okay, yeah.
you can
He just
usually
put it up in the
come
thing,
across some things.
and that's all platforms.
Yeah, that's all platforms. But like I said, we might have an official release of that song, hopefully this year, man. That's the plan. Like, got to do
Hmm.
it, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's
But
gonna happen.
as
You gotta
far as
stay.
like doing weddings and stuff, like you was talking about,
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah.
really do. I don't really do all that outside the towns. Like, I ain't trying to go that route to do all that kind of stuff.
Uh,
I'm just not ready for that. I mean, not that I'm not ready. It's just,
it's uncharted territory.
I got you.
right. I'm
Yeah.
just kind of,
It's some money
wherever
over
my
there.
music might take me is where it might take me. But I'm just having fun with it right now.
Yeah,
Sure.
there's some money over there, though. If
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, there
And
is.
oftentimes, like if you're just singing, I'm not talking about like doing a reception. I'm just talking like doing singing during a ceremony, like
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah. I'm gonna charge you for one song.
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
it.
easy
One
money,
song.
That's
easy
it.
money.
Easy money. In and out.
That's
You
the
might want to
gig.
stick your hand in that jar. Yeah, just to put that on your radar, man. But yeah,
Amen.
man,
Yeah.
it's been great, man. I know your phone's probably about to die here soon, and we are over our hour, ladies and gentlemen. We
Yeah.
still here. Drop us a
Yes,
comment if
sir.
you still here. We appreciate y'all spending your lunch break, your lunch time with us. Craig says you have a 4 octave range. You can sing about anything.
There we go.
I do, man. I took one. He had me some voice lessons with an opera teacher one time,
Ah,
and
man.
it was like 3.5 octaves. And I'll be surprised if I can still hit that today. But
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Right. To be
I
able
was
to
back
have done it.
then.
Yeah, that's crazy. That reminds me. I think we had on the other show platform, Jean Carn. She could cover many octaves like that. She had that the song "Don't Let It Go to Your Head"
Hmm.
and all of that. Yeah,
Okay.
which was sampled by Brand Nubian,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Ironically, that's the first time I heard this song. But then as you get older and you dig, you do your due diligence. I went back. I was like, okay, this is the lady who they sampled it from.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Man.
You
So
got
we
to
want
come
to
back
support.
with us when the single drops, man. You got to come back on with us.
Yeah, we'll have you back on, promote the single and everything
Definitely.
like that. This ain't got to be the
Definitely.
last time. It's just the first time, you know. And ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
if you still here, be sure to subscribe to our No Shortcuts community. Be sure I put the our YouTube channel at the top of the chat. Please
Mm-hmm.
hit that. Go over and subscribe. We're gonna get this new the community page popping, interactive. You know, for you guys to interact with us as well as each other. And if you subscribe to our page, once these episodes that are done live, once they're concluded, they will live on YouTube. Shout out to our Twitch family, and pretty soon
Yeah,
we'll be on IG live at the same time as well.
Hey, I want to
absolutely.
appreciate y'all and thank y'all, man, for having me, bro. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it, man.
it
Yeah,
was
It's an
thank
it
you,
was
honor.
man.
great, man. Great time,
And I'll
great
see you
time.
on the road, Midas.
You
Yeah.
already know it, man. We about to ramp up here soon. We just
Mm-hmm.
got a little few sprinkles in February and March. By the end of March, going into April, we're gonna be full steam ahead. You know, we're gonna run into each other about 2 or 3, 4
Oh yeah.
times. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
definitely Virginia Beach. Yeah, definitely
Hey, that's
Virginia
one of my
Beach.
favorite places.
Man, it's a lot of
Cool.
fun. You play a
Yeah.
couple hours. They give you rooms right there on the beach. We be in the same hotel. You know, we
Hey,
hang out
hey,
in the
hey.
dance every
See
night.
what you're saying? And how we didn't make it, man.
Yeah,
That's
well, yeah,
perfect.
that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. Yeah, they put
Exactly.
us up right there. Get a hospital a room with nothing but snacks and stuff in it.
Hey,
Yeah,
look,
yeah,
Ma,
yeah.
we made
You know what I'm
it.
saying? Absolutely. Hey, we doing a lot better than some folks, man. So
Yeah,
it's
it's a
it's all a
blessing.
blessing, man. And I thank God every day. You know what I'm saying? That I get a chance to utilize the gifts that He gave me to live off of. You know,
Exactly.
simple
Yeah,
as
buddy.
that, man. So we ain't gonna prolong the time. Famous, you got any last closing words for our audience
Nah,
before
man.
we
I
slide
think
on
I
out of
think
here?
that was it, man. I really enjoyed hearing from CJ today. I appreciate you coming on with us, brother. And we definitely want to do it again once you got the single coming out, and you could talk
Yeah,
about
we had
life on the road this year. What that
yeah,
was
Yes, sir.
like.
Appreciate you too. I
Yeah,
yes,
appreciate you,
sir.
Travis.
And
absolutely.
before we get out of here, shout out to uh our No Shortcut community, right? Shout out to our
Yeah,
Praise and Faith community and family. Shout out to the Our Power family, Touch of Faith, Smooth Sales,
yeah,
Earth, Wind, and Fire family, the
yeah,
Honeycomb family, Mellow
yeah.
Groove, chairman of the board, and the executives.
That's
Famous, you
right.
guys want to drop
Oh,
yours?
just the usual suspects, man. FMG Event Company, Juju Lee Events, Rich Girl Sips, what's up?
What's goody?
Behind the Bar Charlotte,
Uh-huh.
Radiant Bliss, all my people. DJ Sticks, what's happening?
Well,
I know
yeah.
he
Oh,
out there
somebody's
somewhere.
birthday today, right? Is his birthday today?
I don't
Sticks,
know.
Josh?
I don't know. It
I
might
think it's
be.
his birthday
I know
today.
he was
He's
going out.
probably
He was
out.
like in Jamaica somewhere, so it might be his
Yeah,
birthday.
he's way out the country.
Yeah, buddy.
You did?
Let's do this next week, man.
Yeah. Let's run it back. Ladies and gentlemen, join us next Tuesday. Again, same time, same channel, no
Yes, sir.
Batman. 12 o'clock next Tuesday in our No Shortcuts feed. We're going to share these on our home pages. God bless you all. Thank you all for joining us today. Have a great rest of the day, great rest of the week.
Hey,
See y'all next Tuesday. Shout out to CJ for being there. Peace, love. Everybody have a good
yeah.
one. We'll holler. Oh, there's Josh.
Sticks, what's happening?
What up? Happy birthday, brother.
No shortcuts. Uh-huh. And a little bit of inspiration. No shortcuts. Me and the boss ain't easy. Yeah. Every day somebody needs me. It's no shortcuts. I wake up stretched, say a prayer, coffee and then some fresh air. Time to get it poppin'.
Poppin'.